Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani, alongside my colleague Asukwo James, TVC News assignment editor.
Good morning, Yori. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Nigerians.
Yeah, and well, it's been something of a busy weekend, especially Friday into Saturday. I'm
Exactly.
talking about the politics in Edo State, in particular the 2020 primary elections that are going to be coming up. Um, the APC primary is on the 22nd.
Yes.
of,
Then the
of June.
PDP primaries is on the 19th and 20th
Indeed, there's that window that
of
INEC has
June.
allowed.
That is
Exactly,
this week.
exactly. Now, again, still setting the scene that is already known. Um, you know, INEC says that 16 out of the 18 registered parties have notified it that they have invited it to come and witness their primaries. But
Exactly.
in the case of APC, the ruling APC in Edo State, indeed the ruling APC, the ruling party in Nigeria, the surprising news. Well, maybe I should just take out the word news that has come through, maybe not take out the surprising part, since even people close to the matter say that they were not unduly surprised. But the ruling APC has declared the incumbent governor ineligible to contest the primaries. And then the chairman of APC held a press conference. That was on Friday night,
Yes.
was it?
Friday night.
And Saturday.
That was when the screening committee actually brought their recommendation
Yeah.
and their report. Then on Saturday, the appeals committee also they brought their reports and their recommendation.
Even though Governor Baseki had declined to appeal to them.
Yes, he had declined on appealing because he said that he won't appeal.
Yeah.
So it was surprising that the appeals committee actually mentioned Godwin Obaseki in their report because he didn't appeal. But
Okay.
other candidates, I think one or two of them actually appealed, and that was when that is another issue
Sure,
entirely.
sure. And usually in Nigeria, perhaps other places too, incumbent governors don't have that much stress in obtaining their party's ticket. But that's assuming that, as we say locally, the ground level. In the case of Edo, clearly the ground no level. We have a history of this. Generally speaking, when incumbent governors fall out with their political benefactors, this kind of a thing happens. Now, there are options. The option, of course, is to fight it and see if you can, plow through and win. That doesn't always work. The other one is to move to another party if you believe in yourself enough. And again, that doesn't always work either, but it is not an exclusive business of it not working. It has actually worked in one case. I was reminded of the case of Uzo Oji Kalu, who actually left the ruling PDP, set up his own PPA, and he actually went on to win the election. So the precedents are what they are. It's something of a mixed bag. Now, we should try and understand a bit more the inclination, shall we say, of the principal actors or the principal parties in the Edo State debacle. There's, on the one hand, the chairman of APC in the country, who also happens to be from Edo State. Indeed, he's a two-time governor of Edo State and is seen as the political benefactor of the incumbent governor, and then they fell out. And so, long story short, it culminated in the statement. There's a whole lot of water under the bridge. The statement that Godwin Obaseki, is ineligible to contest the primaries. And there was this conference where all the,
reasons.
all the reasons were adduced. Okay, it seems to me that the Godwin Obaseki side say that they are not too surprised. We don't know how they'll go, but we'll be finding out. So to tell it to us from the APC point of view in Edo State, we have Honorable Abdul Ora. Abdul is a former commissioner in Edo State, two-time former commissioner in the administration of Governor Oshiomhole. Good morning, Honorable Abdul Ora.
Good morning, Yori.
Thank you very much for coming on. And we also have Reverend Olu Martins. Reverend Olu Martins is another friend of the House. He's been on the program before. He's an aide to Governor Godwin Obaseki. Good morning, Reverend Martins.
Good morning. Just to say that I'm not an aide to. No, I'm not. I'm a civil society practitioner who favors the policies and programs of Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Oh.
So if you like, you can call me an ally or a supporter of the government.
Okay, but I take it that you're very close, as it were, to the Governor Obaseki camp, and probably have a good idea of how they're feeling and what some of their thinking is.
I think we can take a guess, a very good one at that too.
Okay, I can see you're being careful, but thank you very much all the same for coming on. Now, quite frankly, I think I'm going to start with you, if I may, Reverend Martins, and that is simply because as for the APC, it's a cut and dried case. It has been done, it has been signed off, and it is what it is. So, Reverend Martins, please tell me, what is the, how has the camp of the incumbent Governor Godwin Obaseki, how has it received this news?
Well, thank you very much. Firstly, we must thank TVC for always putting some of these very topical issues in the front burner, because except we engage government, we cannot get what we have happily described. Having said that, for very keen watchers of democratic practices, not just in the state but in the country, we're not very surprised at what has happened in this particular instance in Edo State. The reason be that we have been marking the scorecard of the activities of Comrade Adams Oshiomhole way back since he was president of the NLC, 8 years as governor of Edo State, and now I think 2 years in the saddle or so as chairman of the APC. And this track record for us have been, full of arbitrariness, has been full of, disrespect, to process and procedures. And we can quote a couple of them. In Edo State, for instance, we saw a retired major who became a permanent secretary in the ministry. So if he retires, for instance, it means that he's going to be retiring twice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Be that as it may, sir. But I wanted to know what the reaction is in the Obaseki camp to the ruling party in Edo State declaring him ineligible to contest the primaries. Therefore, there's no hope of his aspiration to, have another 4-year term coming to fruition.
No. There's no hope of him having another 4-year term under the APC. Let us not act like the APC is the only party that is in Nigeria. Under the APC, as the matter stand now, I just told you that we're not very surprised, and I think that the camp of the governor is not very surprised, because hitherto the chairman of the party, from his trajectory, has shown that his activities are more like a bull in the China shop. So it doesn't come as a surprise at all. If anybody says it comes as a surprise, that person would be a political neophyte. Remember that after the screening, the governor himself had come out to say he didn't think that he was going to get justice. The Latin margin says, Nemo Juda in casa sua. You cannot be a judge in your own cause. You heard when the chairman of the party said that the screening committee was the High Court, the appeals committee was the appeal court, and that the NWC headed by him is the Supreme Court. And if he's the one that handpicked all of the individuals who are in that committee, it didn't come to us as a surprise at all. We knew that it was going to get to where it was going to get to, because we know the style and the person of Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. So it's not news.
Could I take it from what you're saying, sir? Are you saying that you would not be surprised if Governor Obaseki were to decamp from APC, his party at the moment, in order to pursue his ambition?
It is not the first time it is happening in Nigeria's political trajectory. I heard your introductory remarks. And so, unfortunately, the lack of philosophy or the fluidity for which one person can move from one political party to the other in pursuit of his political aspiration is...
Sorry, the network cut you. Is what? The network dropped out. You were talking about, okay, I think he's frozen. Honorable Oro, to come to you now, are you satisfied?
It's right in this country that
Okay, I think it loosened up and he was saying something. But I'm going to come back to you, Reverend Martins. Speaking to Honorable Oro now, the situation in Edo now, it's clear. We know what it is. There will be 3 candidates. Give me your impressions, if you will, about speculations that, well, there probably is tension in Edo, and they're not too sure how peaceful this might turn out, because it is on record that INEC has, I think as far as a month back, been, has sort of prevailed on the police to, be up and doing because they themselves are getting feelers. What is your, what do you think about how smoothly all of this is go? Because as far as your party is concerned, the ruling APC, the candidates shall not include the incumbent governor, who indeed does want a ticket. Honorable Oro? Abdul? I think it's a network thing again. Reverend Martins explaining that, he's not really one of the aides, was being cautious and guarded. But I think he's sort of indicated that he wouldn't be surprised if the governor were to seek membership of another party in order to pursue his aspiration, right?
Yes, exactly. That's what he was trying to imply.
Yes.
I don't want to say he's any category.
Yes.
Because tomorrow politicians are very, very...
There's no finality in
of
politics.
Course, well, no finality.
Until right up until the moment the decision is taken.
Exactly. So, and there's still room for reconciliation.
You think so?
Yeah, of course, it's politics. The only thing they said there are only permanent interests.
No
permanent enemies.
Yeah, no permanent friends, no permanent
enemies.
Yes,
enemies. In politics. So everybody, as the governor is, he can move around. Like yesterday, he was going seeing some governors from the opposition. But I'm not sure the APC will want to say they have closed the door completely, because even the governors, the APC governors, also met and said that there's a way, and they are still going to go ahead in talking and seeing how they can use their internal mechanism to resolve the matter in their party, within their party. He's still a member of the APC until we see the governor saying, I'm no more a member of the APC, I'm moving to another party.
I mean, not governor, well, former governor and chairman Oshiomhole, he dwelt on this a bit, internal mechanisms of the party, that they have copious, robust internal mechanisms for sorting out disputes, and that this mechanism was indeed turned to, but it didn't work all through the brouhaha right up until this sanction on the governor. So to come and bring those very, what is it now called? That very mechanism, internal party mechanisms to bear on this, it remains to be seen.
And don't forget that the Governor Basike, also said something yesterday. He said he will take his final decision when he meets Mr. President.
Indeed, he said he has to see the president.
So if he sees the president, he will now take his decision. That is why he has been telling the supporters to remain calm. That is also, so it means that there's still room for discussion. There's still room for reconciliation within the APC, either for them to give him a soft landing and discard what the NWC has decided. Or,
because he actually hasn't used up his appeal.
Yes, because exactly. So it was maybe more or less like a master stroke on his side, saying that I'm not going to appeal yet. So we are going to, the coming days before the primaries, is also going to come up, and is going to show if Mr. President will say, okay, allow him, give him the first refusal, or he is the one that is the governor. Let's allow him to go for the primaries. At least for him to go for the primaries.
Yeah, but the last time the president did that, it was in Lagos State with Governor Ambody. That didn't work. But you know, the governors, I mean, our contributors are back. Okay, Honorable Abdul. I thought you were back. Honorable Abdul Oro. Dear. Yeah, but we know that you are back. We're just having.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Honorable
Yes,
Abdul.
I can
Oh, now you can hear me. I wanted to ask. The governor, Governor Obaseki, is still a member of APC. It's just that he's not getting his way. And I was making the point earlier, which you might have heard, that usually they don't. Incumbent governors don't have problems getting. Oh dear, it must be the weather. It's wet in Lagos. I don't know what it's like over there in Edo, but we're certainly having problems. Honorable, can you hear me, Honorable Oro? How about Reverend Martins? Can you hear me, Reverend Martins?
I can hear you very well.
Well, Reverend Martins can hear me. Honorable Oro, I need to hear from you. Is it any better on your side, Honorable Oro?
I can hear you.
You can hear me now. Okay, great. Okay, let me try and make it short.
I can hear you.
Excellent. Give me, can I get comments from you? It's clear what the position of APC in Edo State is, and that is that Governor Obaseki is ineligible to contest the primaries.
Well, like I told you, the decision, the governor, like and other aspirants for governorship or the gubernatorial election in Edo State were screened according to the party's constitution, according to the party's constitution, and he was given the opportunity to present all his credentials before the screening committee, and they found his credentials wanted. They found he was not qualified to participate.
But Honorable Oro, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, sir. I'm very sorry. I apologize for jumping in. Chairman Obaseki has said, really, I think in his latest press conference, that it goes way past that. That it's not about the certificate, and then proceeded to, spend a lot of time detailing the quote-unquote many ills of Governor Obaseki as far as the party was concerned and its position on democracy. So I've left your chairman himself said that it's not even about the certificates. It goes way beyond that. So the question I wanted to ask, sir, is people that are speculating that violence is a possibility, are you apprehensive?
Well, he is the governor of Edo State. We have to be apprehensive about the issue of violence because he has been inflicting violence on the broad majority of members of the party over time. I came to your studio, you remember last day or so, when he inflicted violence in our community. He has been using violence since last year. So there is no question that he's going to try again to use violence. So we are counting on the police and the security forces to do what it takes to secure the environment and allow the APC members in Edo State to exercise their democratic right of choosing who will be their next candidate in the forthcoming election. It is up to the government who wants to remain a member of the party because membership of the political party is a voluntary thing. Now he is running up and down looking for godfathers everywhere to help him. But I wish him luck on that. But I will also say one thing. Even members of the PDP, the leadership of the PDP, would not be surprised at the outcome because they actually went to court last night to contest quality of his certificates, his claim, his certification. They questioned them in 2016, and I'm even sure now that they are not surprised that he's been disqualified for whatever reason, for some reasons, including the issue of certificate.
Yeah,
but rule that out.
Yeah, but I think
it's so a dummy to the that technocrat that he was well qualified, with all his. Send somebody to Egosan Grammar School to know whether he has constructed a single block in that school. There used to be a Bendel State Library Board branch in Egosa Grammar School. Send somebody to that school to find out whether that library board ever still exists, and is claiming to have performed very well. If you cannot renovate secondary school, then how can you have done?
Oh, okay. Well,
with the outcome the committee, and we are moving ahead without him, with or without him.
Because I was going to ask, I was going to remind you that Governor Obaseki has said that his final decision will be taken after he would have met with the president. I imagine he wants to make a representation to the president. And Asuku was just saying, if you heard, that there's no finality in politics until the actual final hour. That things.
Well, he met the president last week, and he met the president, if you will, he met the president the other day, and he came to Edo State to say the president has endorsed him. What is he going back to be the president for? I think the president has already endorsed him. Let us accept that he should present it. I mean, I think you don't draw up. Yesterday was Wike. Is Wike the president? Then he was the governor of Akwa Ibom State, the president. Everybody is free to meet with the president, but he has been disqualified.
But so many people will always are already saying that the minimum requirement, to contest election is just the school start. So if he has a school start, then why can't the APC actually allow him to go into the primaries?
He should have presented the school start.
Okay.
He should have presented the school start. He should have presented the school start.
Okay. But I even want to remember that on Saturday, was it Saturday night? On Saturday night, was there a press conference by Governor Oshiomhole, Chairman Oshiomhole on Friday, on Saturday night?
Friday and Saturday.
On Friday and Saturday. On Saturday night, Governor, sorry, why do I, well, is it because he's been a two-term governor? Chairman Oshiomhole said clearly that it's not even about Obaseki's certificate. That there was it's arguable that there was an error. But then he said it's about what he considered as his travesty of democracy, and that was intolerable considering the party that he is of, the APC, that likes to base everything on rule of law and democracy and trying to further democracy, and that the actions of the governor had been seen to be totally anti-democratic. That was Chairman Oshiomole's case, that it goes beyond the certificate, giving the impression that that was not even a big problem. It could have been sorted out, but that they needed something to get him out of that place, given that just saying that he has infringed against democracy might not be enough. So they found a technicality, but the technicality is for the better use of the much more serious, but shall we say maybe a bit amorphous sins in the eyes of the APC that Governor Obaseki had been committing. So he was caught on a technicality that there was the letter I missing. But Chairman Oshiomhole said it's not even about the certificate. I'm sure you also listened to it, Honorable Oro. Okay. Reverend Martins.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Reverend Martins. So the question I was asking when the network was being funny was that is it fair to say that you would not be surprised if Governor Obaseki were to declare for another party in order to pursue his aspiration to have another 4 years as governor? You've said that you're not really, an aide to the governor, but you're close enough to him. Would it surprise you?
No, we will not be surprised at all. If at all anything, politics is about crisis and contest and consensus. It's about contestation of ideas. So there will, in fact, some of us have even urged it, even way beyond now, to say, look, the All Progressive Congress has not behaved in any way differently from the People's Democratic Congress. The crisis that we had, the People's Democratic Crisis Party has had, especially with the likes when Bamanga Tuko was chairman, is similar to what is happening here. And like you people were staying in the studio, you are talking about why the internal party crisis resolution mechanism of the party has not worked. Is because one side is an umpire. It is also an interested party. The bulk of the people who have been chosen to constitute what we call the internal resolution mechanism of the APC is being picked by Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. When I was young, my father used to give myself and my elder brother a loaf of bread to share. If my elder brother must choose first, then I will be the one that will share it. If I must choose, my elder brother will share, just so that there will be fairness. If my elder brother were to share and pick first, he will pick the lion's share for himself. So you can understand why the internal party machinery cannot work. The governor has often told the chairman, say, recluse yourself. We have seen the chairman of the appeals court in the presidential tribunal to recluse himself. I understand that he has a constitutional responsibility to play, but on the grounds of morality, you can't be a judge in your own cause. You can't be the accuser, and you are also the judge at the same time. It's like the recent case that we had of a man who appeared in court with the stolen clothes of the judge that he was appearing before. Don't you know how the case is going to go already?
But Reverend,
we will not be surprised. Yes.
But Reverend Martins, looming large over all the the problems in Edo State, you're talking about somebody picking or choosing. Now, Governor Obaseki did indeed choose those few members he wanted to allow be sworn in, and only circulated the notice that must be sent he sent it only to those people. There's no getting past that. And so there's been, let it be said, an undemocratic state of affairs in the Edo State House of Assembly that was brought about by the governor.
No, Yori, let's put a fact in place. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, let's put a fact in place. It is not the governor that inaugurates the House of Assembly.
One moment, Reverend, I've got to jump in, and I'm very sorry because I've got to go on a break, but I'm coming straight back to you. Please bear with us. Stay with us, please.
No problem.
Okay, welcome back. And having a few technical difficulties, but we've sorted it out because and I want to thank the two gentlemen, Reverend Olu Martins, who is on the line, and his technical line is good. But we also have Honorable Abdul Oro. There were a few in Edo State. There were a few challenges there, but we've taken measures to address those challenges. And Honorable Oro, I believe you can hear us now.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Lovely. So let me go back to Reverend Martins because I interrupted him as I was going, as we had to go to break. So I was saying to you, Reverend, that
yes,
the governor actually created a quote-unquote America wonder in the Edo State House of Assembly, where he just, I think it was just 9 members or something like that. He just really rewrote the book, and only those that he preferred to be sworn in as honorable members were sworn in, leaving out the majority. There's no getting past that, and that was cited by the chairman, and it's a contentious issue that we've been speaking about for ages, and the governor stuck to his guns.
You know, there's been explanation. I was going to say before we were cut off that, first of all, it is not the governor that inaugurates the House of Assembly. What the governor does is to issue a letter of proclamation. It is incumbent on the clerk of the House to distribute the notice to all of the members elect. And there's been debate back and forth. The clerk of the House had come up to say, you know what, he had called many of these members, and the members had also, been notified of the inauguration. However, is that these matters are still in court as we speak. So it will almost be sub judice, to go into it in detail. Safe to say that the governor does not inaugurate. This is a democracy, and in democracy, the issues of separation of power are very clear. The executive arm of government is not the legislative arm of government. The legislative arm of government is not the judiciary. What the responsibility of the governor, which the court has upheld, is that he issues a letter of proclamation. Going forward from there, it is the responsibility of the clerk of the House to circulate the notice of the date, the venue, and time of the when the inauguration will take place. And members can choose not to come for the inauguration if they so desire, because people have created the impression it's about the speaker. You were elected to be a member of the House of Assembly. You were not elected to be a principal member of the House of Assembly. You were elected to represent your constituency. So if people have refused to present themselves for inauguration, how do you blame the governor for? How do you blame the governor for that? And then, if I needed to take
Reverend,
it
Reverend, these technicalities, these are really technicalities. And I just, because, quote unquote, I don't know too much book, is why I put it like that. That these are technicalities. Clearly, Governor Obaseki did not want certain honorable members to be sworn in. And it has been worked out. Well, in the case of when the other side also brought technicalities to bear, Comrade Oshiomhole said that it's even beyond the whole certificate that was used as a technicality to achieve a different aim, which was to prevent him from achieving his objective. In the same way, the governor also, arguably used technicalities to create the logjam situation that we have. And I understand that everybody appealed to him to have another think, but the governor was adamant.
Let us even assume, do not agree that what you have said is true. It is typical to what the Yorubas say. And if you say that, what you are also saying that since, the governor in the manner of speaking introduced technicalities, you're also saying that what the chairman has done it's a vengeance, it's to get back at him. If you use technicalities for me, I'm going to use technicalities for you. It means that the process of screening was not on the basis of credibility. The process of the screening was not on the accusations that they have accused the governor of. Because I watched the professor that headed the screening say that HSC certificate is unknown to Nigeria. And I said, are you serious? When I was in secondary school, not too many long years ago, I know that there was a higher school certificate until the 63-4 system came before the higher school certificate, was abolished. But a professor came on air to say that that was unknown, to law. I was in university, I was disqualified. They said I didn't have the prerequisite requirement to be a student. What the university did was they took my certificate to the issuing authority. They took it to WAEC. You can't look at a document on the face of it and say that it is genuine or not genuine just because you want to give a dog a bad name just so you can hang him. The people who issued the certificate is University of Benin. NYSC issued the certificate. And then you talk about Obaseki. We have had a Muhammadu, a Muhammad. We have had an Adam and an Adam. So, like you have said, it is not about the screening, because you can't screen documents on the face of it. You must take it to the issuing authority, and if you have not so done so, and then you disqualified on the basis of what the document presents to you, it tells everybody that you don't even want to disqualify him.
I hear you.
It wasn't about certificate, like you have said. It is more deeper than that. It is witch hunting. It is vengeance, if you like to put it that way.
So, and on the face of it, the two options, that are open to Governor Obaseki would be to either quietly go away into political oblivion, or
which would be cowardice on his part,
or seek an alternative platform to still, in spite of the opposition to his aspiration, achieve his aim, or at least try to achieve his aim. And so the question really is that you've just answered that. For him to go quietly away into political oblivion, you won't endorse that. So you expect him to fight this?
Yeah, we expect him to. It is better my children say in history, this was where our father fought and died.
Okay, Honorable Oro, you have heard everything, sir. You have heard all of this, that it's not over from the point of view of Governor Obaseki's camp, but it doesn't seem to me that you think there's reason to lose much sleep, or how would you say, sir?
Let me speak for myself. I think you have given undue advantage to Reverend Olumartins to go back to issues that have been resolved by the screening committee. The governor did not show HSC certificate. He showed a testimonial issued by the Institute of Continuing Education of Benin. That is not an HSC certificate. That was not awarded by WAEC. Anyway, talking about what the government may wish to do or not to do. Membership of a political party is voluntary. If you want to stay in APC, you have to stay in APC primary is fixed for June 22nd, is to create the atmosphere as the chief security officer of the state for us to have our primaries, those who are qualified, to engage the party membership and so that the party can express their preference. And then after that, we work towards the election in September. So clearly, there is no need feeding the dead horse. I can even tell you, only last week, the governor said he was setting up a committee to reconcile members of the House of Assembly. He set up the Nalong committee. That committee met, and all the 24 members of the House of Assembly were at that meeting. Once again, that is last week. Once again, the governor frustrated it. He gave their conditions. He gave the 14 members who reluctantly attended that meeting conditions to meet before they could be sworn in. So, and then Olumadil, who has a reputation for working for every government in power in Edo State, claiming to be working for the NGO, would now start lying to the public and deceiving the public that it's not the fault of the governor. Was it not the fault of the governor that he used talks to beat up those members of the House of Assembly in their hotel room on the night they were sworn in? Who said the talks were led by the chief security officer of the governor? This is already in the public domain. I was in your studio to cry out about how he used talks to attack a meeting that I attended. Everybody knows how he has used talks to attack people in their homes, bombing their houses, trying to block Oshiomhole from getting out of Benin Airport, to preventing him from leaving his house to entry or leaving his house in Benin. How he demolished a hotel belonging to a boy he promised on record, those who helped him, he promised them on record that he was going to empower them. He demolished his hotel and sent him a bill of 18 million to pay for the demolition of his share. Is that not extreme cruelty? Is that not tyranny?
Okay.
And then you want us to continue to support a tyrant? That's not acceptable. It's not in our interest in Edo State to allow the culture of tyranny to proceed in Edo State. I think the decision of the screening committee was perfect. It was according to the rules of the game, according to the constitution of the party. He, in all honesty, he knows that his strategy was to destabilize the party and then move on. Now we've got into that stage. It's to move on and then we'll meet in October or in September.
All right then. Well, Honorable Oro, I want to thank you very much. There's little more that needs to be said about this whole matter, in that we have a clear-cut APC position, and you have underlined that position. And, we also, so thank you very much for your time this morning, sir. And also the same, thank you very much, Reverend Olu Martins. We have heard from you that it's not over till it's over. We thank you also for your time this morning. Okay then. So now we'll open the phones, because now that everybody knows the story, we know the APC position, and maybe people didn't as widely know the situation with Governor Baseki, but as his man has said there, he doesn't expect him to just quietly go away into political oblivion. Indeed, we'll see what you think at home as well. You can call in. But it's not over till it's over. You will be making the point that in politics, don't quickly say that the game is over. Not until the bell goes.
So it's good that Reverend Olu Martins has just given us a tip of what
he said. He said he wouldn't be surprised if.
Like the next
and that he said for him to just, as it were,
go
away the way APC wants.
Exactly.
Just go away. And
that would be cowardice if the governor just says, okay, fine, I'm not going anymore. I'm not going to be governor anymore. So it means if the governor does not get the ticket for the PDP, he can decide
Good morning, Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. If someone can help you.
Thank you for this program this morning. First of all, you remember I have always questioned the authenticity of these groups that are called themselves civil society groups. A person that is from a civil society group is now standing for the governor who is a party person. What does that tell you about this civil society that we have in Nigeria? That one is not the issue today. I just want to remind you of what I have said about them before. Uncle Yori, I was born in Edo State. I did my primary education in that state. And the impact that Oshiomhole made only in education sector in Edo State today still speaks volumes, speaks for itself when you go there. The primary school that I graduated from in 1968, no other governor has ever done anything in that village until Oshiomhole came and built 3 new blocks in that school today. When you go there, it looks like the primary school you can see in Borno of today. That one is not the issue I want to talk about. If the governor wanted to demonstrate that he is a Democrat and a fair person, look at the antecedents of things that have been happening. Is that how he should have gone about it? You can't eat your cake and have it at the same time. You and Comrade Oshiomhole joined hands together to make sure that APC won that state. 24 members of the House of Assembly were from your party. You won all the seats. But when inauguration came, you did it through the night and surreptitiously used 9 out of 24 because they were the ones that declared loyalty to you. And a reverend is coming to the national television to say that the governor has no hand in it. Come on. They are not talking to children.
Indeed.
We all know what happened.
Yeah.
So, and the governor has defied all efforts to settle the rift between him and his previous godfather.
Yeah.
Godfatherism is not a thing. There's godfatherism even in American politics. What we hear, or what is just that we misunderstand it here.
Okay.
The governor is telling people that it is because he is not giving Oshiomhole money. The money he will have used to develop the state. That is why Oshiomhole is against him. From what I know on the ground there, Uncle Yori, that is not true. Is the governor telling us that he does not give people money? Can he stand up and say, I'm facing a probe that I do not give people money? No politician can tell you that, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much.
The issue on ground is that the way and manner, what you sow is what you reap. If the governor wants a second term, he has not worked for it. Uncle Yori, let me say this one for the last one. What is happening in that state is the making of the lack of leadership by Mr. Oyegun. What he did in the APC that made them to remove him as chairman, he has transferred it to Edo State politics, creating divisions, inciting one group against the other, and that's what we are seeing now.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. Appreciate your call. Okay, it was a long one, but
I think what George just ended with is very vital, and that is where the party, that is the party at the national level, will have to sit to talk about, because in all the states that the APC is holding sway, they seem to have these pockets of problem left, right, and center. Now, for the national party, if you notice, Obaseki seems to be in bed with the former national chairman, and the party has not called Yegu to tell him that you were once a national chairman. You should be talking about uniting the party, and not only that, making sure that the party in your state is united. They are going for elections, and they are already. I'm very sure the Oyegu will be happy if APC loses.
Okay, I think there's Prince in Amuwadofin. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Support.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
I want to stay with Mr. George. It's very laughable when we bring in core technocrats into politics. This is what we see. Normally, in politics, you start from bottom up. Obaseki has never been a party person, just like what happened to Ambode. You don't come in and become the emperor of a state, and you don't know the rudiments of party politics, the ward level, the local government level. These are party people that put you where you are. And when you get there, you must patronize these party people. That is just what politics is. Donald Trump will be in America and then take it all in. He was not the only person that took himself there. There are people around the stratas and the structure. So he made a technical error by not playing to party rules and get his second tenure. When you get your second tenure, then you can now say, okay, look, I want to be the next godfather. What he's showing is, he's claiming that Oshiomhole is a godfather. him is also a tyrant and a godfather. Because that's what I'm saying. And Reverend Oluma since is laughable to say that 9 members were installed and it is the governor's hand is not involved. But then the problem that Obaseki is now having with the governor, the Oshiomhole's hand is involved. No, look, let's be honest with all this and tell ourselves the plain truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Prince. But it's still not over because I think it's on record. Governor Obaseki has said that I still need to touch base with the president. Maybe it's out of respect for the president, because if he's going to decamp, he probably doesn't want to do it without having told the president that, look, sir, I'm decamping. You know.
I think just when we say technocrats and politics, you know, we need technocrats to be involved in politics so that governance will have good governance. Sure. You know, because if we say just politicians should just start ruling everywhere, leading everybody,
there's no
it will look somehow
with technocracy and technocrats.
Yes, exactly.
But you've got to understand the lie of the ground. Seems to be what Prince is saying. So you've got to add that to your knowledge base.
I think the thing is there's a missing link somewhere, and that is where the party is supposed to come and address. You know, people are using words like you got to patronize. You see, now if you were to take this as a straightforward economic issue, a straightforward administrative issue, now politicians, if they are excellent technocrats, are going to also have to know that other skills are needed, and that some skills that are needed might actually fly in the face of logic. When you're coming to talk about, sums and all of that, and efficiency and all of that. I guess that's what people are saying, that, look, there are aspects to being a grassroots politician that you just can't, that are indispensable to the smooth running of government and governance. Exactly. Because the thing is, the governor cannot operate.
You can't come and make yourself as efficient,
without the
so
grassroots
efficient
politicians.
that you begin to damage the political base.
That is it.
So if you come in and it's efficiency, and you're going to get these places clean as a whistle, okay, that's fine. But how is the political machinery they are doing? Who is on the line? Paul, good morning, sir.
Yeah,
Paul?
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in, Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. My contribution to the Edo primary is this.
Yes.
I'm from Edo State.
Okay.
Let the issue be clear. What I want to talk about is the movement of Obaseki now, planning to go to the PDP.
We don't know that.
Or any other party.
We don't know that.
Okay, if he has, if he is a wise man.
Yes.
Because I would like people to talk as Nigerians. He should come low like Ambode in Lagos State. Because definitely going to another party will not save him. But rather remaining with his party as a loyal man. And I think that is what the president is going to tell him. Because I talk like a Nigerian, not a foreigner. He should remain in the party, the party, work for whosoever wins the get any other.
Okay. Which is pretty much what Governor Ambode did in his own time too.
He's defeated.
Yes.
EFCC will come after him. The party will not have all the moral standing.
We don't know if EFCC
but not everybody is afraid of EFCC. You know, let's face it. I mean, even EFCC says it. If you're clean, what concern you? What concern Agbero and overload?
Nothing concern.
But I take your meaning, Paul. I do indeed take your meaning, and it's interesting things that Paul is bringing up, because he just did that conjecture that if he doesn't play ball, then EFCC is going to come out. I don't know that there's a natural consequence. I think
in all of this, whether it's APC or the PDP, they should always consider the people. If you are bringing anybody,
that is what Oshiomhole was emphasizing on that Saturday press conference. That is about democracy. It's about the people. And I'm quoting Oshiomhole, not I'm just quoting
You are
Oshiomhole.
quoting Oshiomhole, but me, I'm more concerned about the people. They are Edo people.
Okay,
they are
they say
the
we
ones
got
that
to
will
go
decide.
now. They say we got to go now. So thank you very much, Azukwo. And indeed, thank you very much for your time. And our special thanks to Honorable Abdul Oro in Edo State, as well as Reverend Olu Martins in Edo State, and indeed the guys that have called in on the program. Thank you very much. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folaring alongside Asukwa James saying bye-bye for now.